In May 2022, Young Thug alongside Gunna and several YSL members were arrested on RICO charges. However, within 2 weeks, Young Thug's best friend Gunna then snitched out of the case.
YSL is a music label, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
When Gunna originally snitched, the following day, it would then be reported by DJ Academics, Lil Baby as well as members of 4PF are now next on the Atlanta DA's RICO list, meaning Lil Baby and 4PF members are next up to be arrested.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
As DJ Academics would then confirm showing the evidence file of 4PF on the official court documents, while also confirming it on stream that the next person up is a rap group with a 3-letter name.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by 3 letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
Fast forward into 2024, it is very important because now the next topic in the YSL RICO trial is the street teams that are connected to YSL all being brought up in the courtroom. This means 4PF and Lil Baby. Lil Baby even knows that he's going to be getting arrested for RICO or just in the YSL case, as in his song titled 350, he states the lyrics, "Ain't never say nothing about it, boy you know you a rat." Now this went on to go viral on social media. Obviously Lil Baby is angry of the situation on having to be involved in the YSL RICO trial. However, it would rub Young Thug's father the wrong way. Young Thug has been sitting in a jail cell for the last 2 years battling this case, while Lil Baby has been outside enjoying his life, where Young Thug's father would tell Lil Baby to just be quiet.
How do you feel about Lil Baby throwing at Gunna for his plea deal?
He need to shut the fuck up, cause he don't know what's going on. You know, he's going off of what he heard. Ask Lil Baby, have he ever came to a court date?
Oh, okay.
See, that's what I want y'all to ask these damn rappers and these bloggers with this whole snitch shit and this. When have y'all went to a court date to support Slime, to support Jeffrey, to support Thug, however you want to name him? Go on their social media pages and say, why in the haven't you been at the courthouse to support your dude? And I guarantee you won't get an answer.
As sources close to Young Thug have gone onto the record to state that he is gonna be likely emotional inside of the courtroom if he sees Lil Baby getting arrested for these RICO charges. Now this wouldn't be the first time seeing Thug get emotional either, as the true fear is what's been going on in the YSL case currently, where lawyers have noted that this is the most corrupt case that they have ever witnessed. It would first be announced, judge has ruled on the attorney Max's motion for a fair trial. She is sending the entire prosecution team to Brady training, leading into a lawyer saying, another embarrassment for the YSL trial prosecutors today.
But make sure before it shows up on a screen with a jury that whatever limits have been placed on this, you abide by them. I mean, I saw the slide from the opening that had something on it that had been specifically talked about and ruled that you had better not in any way put that before the jury, and lo and behold, it's up there on the screen. Not going to get back into it, but that should not happen again. If you know that comments aren't supposed to be on here, you need to make sure before you throw any slide up. And I'm not saying that this was how you were going to use it. I know you're just giving this to us right now, but just make sure everything is clean to the way that it is supposed to be. Okay?
As in simple terms, the judge is sending the prosecutors to a classroom to complete a small course on how to remind them to do their literal job. This isn't even a joke either. The judge is sending the prosecutors to a classroom with a teacher to remind them what evidence they are and are not allowed to use in a court case. As this is where it feels extremely corrupt, as the prosecutors have literally no idea how to do their job. However, the judge refuses to allow a mistrial, so then Young Thug in the end will face a prison sentence. Now, these two rappers have much different charges, but it feels awfully similar to what Boosie said about YNW Melly, that when the feds want you, they'll do anything to get you, such as stretching on a court case where the prosecutors don't even know how to do their job.
When they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. They could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
However, it gets even crazier from here, as it would be announced on late Friday, attorney Max told Judge Page that he filed another motion for a fair trial. This motion comes after the attorneys found out about another ex parte meeting on June 7th.
So I recently filed a, while we were in court, a motion for a fair trial, seeking remedies. Oh, and I will email, it was just filed. And I'll email it over.
As Max is a part of Young Thug's legal team, he's bringing up an issue that the prosecutors had an illegal meeting to gain evidence on Young Thug with outside sources. His motion was quickly denied right after submitting, making Max, as well as Thug's lawyer partners, come to the following day inside of the courtroom, screaming at the new judge, making her extremely uncomfortable.
Well, you know, the problem, Your Honor, is that since this was an ex parte meeting that should probably have never taken place, you were not there, I was not there, my fellow outside agitators weren't there, we don't have a video of it, so I have no idea specifically if that was not referred to us. We don't know, do we? We don't know. And what I do know is that I have been arguing with people for 18 months that Chief Judge Glanville was doing his best, that he was trying to rule to the best of his ability based on the evidence and the law before him, and now I have been made to look like an idiot. So I do not believe that this trial should continue, Your Honor.
As this would end up going viral on social media. Lil Baby would even react saying, "It's about time. Thug is gonna be coming home. Slime's been in the cell too long. The trial's over and the judge is crazy." With even 4-2 Doug saying,
"Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?"
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened. Crazy, like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
As lawyers online would review the latest evidence and they would give Young Thug's release date, taking into account that the prosecutors don't know what they're doing. But to understand when the release date is, you first need to understand how the mess even started to get the entire picture. It was announced Judge Glanville has been recused from the YSL RICO trial after Young Thug and his co-defendants petitioned to have him removed, as the original judge is officially gone from the YSL case. A report online would share usually when a judge gets recused from a court case, it ends in a mistrial 57% of the time. However, this led into an announcement of Judge Ingram has been assigned as the new judge in the YSL RICO trial, meaning that there will be no mistrial and the trial will continue, as a lawyer would go on to give his different opinion on what this truly means.
I smell RICO charges. Judge Glanville has been recused from the YSL trial. This is the order from Judge Rachel Krause granting the motion to recuse Judge Glanville from the case. Now, will this case continue with a new judge taking over midway? I don't think so. I think you have to start from scratch, which means new jury. That new judge is going to have to come up to speed with all of the evidentiary rulings that have happened in this case, and then you start all over again. When is this trial supposed to finish? 2030? It's a damn shame, because This guy probably had a great long career. He was the chief judge in Fulton County. He's a military veteran. He's probably a very accomplished individual, but his legacy will be nothing more than he was extremely biased. He had it out for the defendants.
The famous rap lawyer believes the RICO charges against the 20 YSL members are now non-existent. Judge Glanville was at the top of the food chain in the court system. He even folded in the YSL case. He believes that no judge will be up to the task for this trial, making him go on to reveal Young Thug's next move.
What's next in the YSL case? We have a new judge. Judge Ingram has been assigned the case. You're going to see a couple of motions filed by each of the defendants. First, they're going to file a motion for bond. Second, they're going to file a motion for a mistrial. The bond argument is easy. They're going to argue he's been locked up forever. Now he's going to be locked up for God knows how long is forever. Can we get him a bond? The argument for a mistrial is going to be very interesting. They're going to go to Judge Ingram and they're going to say, Judge Ingram, you're going to have to pick up this case midway. You're going to have to make all these rulings going forward. But before you can do that, you got to read about everything that's happened. You got to read about the court transcript, every line from the longest trial in Georgia history. This is already the longest trial ever. Then you're going to have to read about all the motions, evidentiary objections, pre-trial rulings, in-trial rulings. It's going to take you God knows how long before the trial is ready to resume. And will the jury be ready to resume? They've already been out for weeks.
Then only 2 court days later, the second judge would also leave the case. It would be announced the new judge in the YSL RICO trial recuses herself after only 2 days on the case. This now makes it needing a third judge. Meet Judge Page. An online statistic shares that when a court case needs a third judge after the first 2 recuses, it typically ends in a mistrial 81% of the time. However, there is no mistrial. And on her first day of being the new YSL judge, Young Thug's legal team sent in 20 motions for a mistrial and bond, and she denied every single one. There is only one last hope for a mistrial, and it's for one specific reason, and allow me to explain. It's based on the prosecutors not doing their jobs correctly. It goes and reads, the judge in Young Thug's trial was just arguing with the state because they were unprepared with evidence.
That's too late. The evidence is excluded. The evidence is excluded. I'm going to exclude because I told you that this was going to happen. No. We're excluding that. This is the last. I am not going to tolerate this any further. If you don't get together with your colleagues and flag issues and resolve them promptly, and if I have to take them up, remember, I can exclude them. We'll work the weekends, or we'll do a combination of both. So this time, I'm going to exclude those 2 sections.
There's nothing.
I'm not going to have any more discussion about this, madam. I'm not. I don't. Well, you know what?
And I attempted to try to talk to them earlier this week.
Well, then that's why we have to.
Punishes the state because the defense.
I'm not punishing anybody.
This led into the prosecutors having a meltdown inside of the courtroom where it would be announced an ex-investigator with the Atlanta police took the stand under cross-examination on Monday in the YSL RICO trial. Former investigator Lakia got into a brief exchange with defense attorney Max.
And D'Angelo White's response was, we had, correct?
Yes, he did say that, and it was more to that as well.
We had guns and
Yes, he stated that.
Okay. We, being plural, correct? Correct?
Are you insulting my intelligence by asking if we means plural? I think you are, though.
Okay.
I think you are.
All right, well,
sir, don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, sir, let's be respectful to our witness, okay?
I'm very respectful, Judge, and I always will.
I doubt it.
As right now, Young Thug's legal team is consistently arguing with the Atlanta police as they are trying to lie about evidence on Young Thug. Young Thug's main lawyer would even call out the entire Atlanta Police Department for lying about evidence on Thug, which goes and reads, Your Honor, as my eyes roll, I'm about to show you why I don't believe the city of Atlanta at all.
I have
no recording of whom.
Detective Lewis at the hospital, Grady Hospital, September 11, 2013, meets with Walter Murphy. And Your Honor, as my eyes roll out of my head, I'm about to show you why I do not believe the City of Atlanta Police Department at all. This is served in discovery. I will mark it Mr. Williams C and D. And then you tell me if I'm supposed to believe the allegations from the state of Georgia.
As this is where the case would get heated inside of the courtroom, the judge would first call out Young Thug's attorney for stating that the Atlanta police lies about its evidence, because Young Thug's attorney is practically putting his entire career on the line by making such a bold statement.
Well, not conceding that?
Well, I'm going to tell you that I haven't heard anything that would indicate that's truth.
Yeah, well,
you have a good faith basis to ask that.
You haven't heard anything of who he spoke with. That's my point.
That's the point. But you all can't. But you two, neither one of you can proffer that.
Judge,
it's not proper, Mr. Steele.
No. Listen.
It's not. It would be a violation before me for you to put that in front of this jury.
In the September 17, 2000.
You are saying to the court that you have a belief that there is another statement out there. There's not.
How could you say that?
Because it hasn't been brought up. If it gets brought up, then we'll correct it at that point in time. But right now, I'm going to direct you not to inquire that line. You don't have a basis to do so.
As the evidence that they are discussing is based around a man named Adrian Bean, the Atlanta police are trying to use evidence against Young Thug that Adrian told them in 2013. However, now Adrian in 2024 says that he doesn't remember giving them any evidence. As the report goes and reads, keep in mind, unlike Trontavious Stevens, Adrian is not bound by a plea deal. He was a part of a 2013 crime where 4 people were involved, but 1 escaped and was never caught. They need Adrian to snitch on Young Thug like he did with the police in 2013. As Adrian did originally snitch on Young Thug in 2013, Young Thug was the one individual that committed the crime, escaped, and was never caught in the end. However, the police have very little evidence proving that it was Young Thug, making Adrian Bean snitching on him, saying and confirming that it was Thug the perfect evidence that they need. But now he forgets about the entire crime 10 years later, as he would go on to reveal why he forgot.
After you answer the question, which you have to do.
Because I don't remember nothing that happened in 2013. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I understand. What I have to do is ask you some questions and determine what you do and don't remember. So, what is your response as to whether or not you recognize the images shown in Defendant's Exhibit number 8?
I don't remember.
All right. And I'm going to show you Defendant's Exhibit number 81. Do you recognize what's shown there?
No, ma'am.
All right. What about number 101 for Defendant Exhibits?
You see a car, but I don't remember it.
Okay, that's fine. Is your answer the same for Defendant's Exhibit number 82, number 89, and Defendant's Exhibit 90?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, lots can happen within 11 years. The crime did occur in 2013. Some sources claim that YSL members could have paid Adrian off to not snitch, but others believe that he actually did forget about the crime, as Adrian would go on to reveal why he forgot.
I really don't have any knowledge about 2013, ma'am. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't really have any knowledge about 2013. Once I had went to prison and came home from prison and done my time, everything that happened in 2013 or whatever has been put behind me and set forth, so I've been, working and just doing my thing since I came home from prison. I don't have no knowledge of nothing that happened 10 years ago.